Welcome back to Tech with Kaushik, the channel where we simplify complex AI concepts so you can understand and actually use them. I'm Kaushik. Today, we're covering something that just changed everything about how AI works, the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. But before we explain what it is, you need to understand the problem it solves. Imagine the world's smartest consultant, something that can solve incredibly complex problems in seconds. But here's the catch. It's trapped in a glass box. Outside that box, everything that's real. Your files, your databases, your email, your customers, your entire business. But inside, just pure intelligence. Isolated, disconnected, unable to reach any of it. That's been the entire story of AI until very recently. Let's dig into why and how everything just changed. So what have you been doing all this time? You've been the bridge. Every single day, you copy information from the real world into the glass box where the AI lives. The AI thinks about it. The AI makes decisions. And then you copy the answer back out to the real world. You're the middleman. You're basically a human API translating between AI and reality. Exhausting, right? Because that's not how technology should ever work. Well, this is the story of what finally changed that. Here's what happened. AI got exponentially smarter. Look at the timeline. 2018, we had chatbots. 2019, bigger models. 2020, even bigger. 2021, major breakthroughs. 2022, GPT-4 arrives and shocks everyone. 2023, still improving. 2024, incredible models everywhere. But here's the cruel irony. The smarter AI got, the more isolated it stayed. It's like a genius locked in a library with no internet connection. The intelligence was growing exponentially. The access, it didn't grow at all. That disconnect became the world's most expensive problem. Want to connect AI to your tools? Here's what you're up against. You've got Claude. You've got ChatGPT. You've got Gemini. Now multiply that by every tool you actually use in your business. Slack, GitHub, Google Drive, your database, Stripe, Salesforce, HubSpot, Notion, Linear, your file system. Every single AI needs custom code. Every tool needs a custom integration. Every combination is a completely different custom connector. It's spaghetti, impossible to manage, expensive to build, fragile when it breaks, a nightmare for every engineer trying to scale. And it gets worse from here. Let's do the math. 3 AI models times 20 tools. That's 60 custom integrations. Easy to manage at that scale. Now scale it up. 10 AI models, 100 tools. That's 1,000 integrations. You'd need an entire team just to maintain them all. For enterprise, thousands of AI models, thousands of tools, millions of combinations. The math doesn't just break, it explodes. Someone had to fix this. Someone had to build a universal standard that works for everything. November 2024. Anthropic did something remarkable. They released the Model Context Protocol, an open, vendor-neutral standard for how AI connects to everything. Not just for Claude, for every AI, every model, every company. Within months, what happened? OpenAI adopted it. Google adopted it. Microsoft adopted it. AWS adopted it. Every major player looked at MCP and said, "This is the standard we're building on." It was the moment the glass box shattered. Let's decode what MCP actually means. M is for model, the AI. Could be ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, any large language model. C is for context, all the real-world information the AI needs to actually do something. Your files, your emails, your databases, everything. P is for protocol, the universal language, the standard connector, like USB-C, but for artificial intelligence. Put them together, and you get MCP, how AI finally gets access to reality, how it stops being trapped and starts being genuinely useful. MCP has 3 main players. Think of it as a triangle of connection. At the top, the host. This is your AI application, Claude on your desktop, ChatGPT in your browser, wherever the intelligence actually lives. At the bottom left, the client. It's the dispatcher, the connector. For each tool you want to use, there's one client sitting inside the host, ready to send requests to the right place. At the bottom right, the server. This is where the real capabilities live. A GitHub server knows how to work with your code. A Slack server knows how to send messages. A database server knows how to query data. The client connects to the server. The host talks through the client, all using the same universal language. That's MCP working. Let's zoom in on the host. This is the AI application, your control center. Claude, ChatGPT, Cursor, Claude Code, any application where AI lives. The host has one core job: coordinate everything. It says to the clients, I need to read some files, or I need to send a Slack message, or I need to query the database. The host doesn't actually do any of that work itself. It delegates. It orchestrates. Think of it like a conductor in an orchestra. The conductor doesn't play every instrument. They tell the musicians when to play and what to do. Now here's where it gets elegant. The client. The host doesn't connect directly to every single tool. Instead, for each tool you want to use, there's one MCP client, a specialized dispatcher. GitHub client handles GitHub. Slack client handles Slack. Google Drive client handles Drive. Database client handles queries. Each one specializes in its domain. And here's the key. Multiple clients can run in parallel, all inside the host, all communicating using the same protocol, JSON RPC. This is how the host stays clean and organized. This is how it scales without exploding into chaos. Not by building new custom code every single time, but by spawning a client that speaks the universal language. Now let's understand the server. This is where the actual capabilities live. A GitHub server knows how to create pull requests, read repositories, query issues, write code, run tests. A Slack server knows how to send messages, read channels, create workflows, retrieve history. A Google Drive server knows how to list files, read documents, create folders, share content. Your database server knows how to execute queries, write records, fetch data, validate constraints. Every server declares what it can actually do. It says, here are my capabilities. Here are the tools I expose. Here are the resources I control. The host doesn't need to know all the technical details. It just asks the right server, and the server handles it. So how does an actual request flow through the system? Let me walk you through it step by step. Step 1. The user or the AI makes a request. Read my GitHub issues. Step 2. The host receives this request and knows it needs to talk to GitHub. Step 3. The host triggers the GitHub client, and it wakes up. Step 4. The client sends a structured request to the GitHub server using JSON RPC. It's not a hack, it's the standard protocol. Step 5. The GitHub server processes the request, connects to GitHub's actual API, gets the issues, formats the response. Step 6. The response flows back through the client to the host. Step 7. The host gives the response to the AI, which now has real data to work with. All of this happens in milliseconds, all using the same universal language. That's the elegance of MCP. Every MCP server exposes 3 types of capabilities. First, tools. These are actions, verbs. The GitHub server exposes tools like create a pull request or write to a file, things the AI can actually do. Second, resources. These are pieces of data, nouns. The GitHub server exposes resources like read a repository or fetch an issue, things the AI can access and read. Third, prompts. These are instructions, system context, guidance. Here's how to use GitHub best practices. Here's how to do code review correctly. The server teaches the AI how to work properly in that domain. Every server can expose all 3 types, or just 1 or 2. It depends on what that service is capable of. This is the full picture of how AI graduates from being an isolated genius to becoming an integrated expert. And here's where it gets absolutely stunning. There are currently 9,400 registered MCP servers. 9,400. GitHub, Slack, Google Drive, Notion, Linear, Stripe, Salesforce, HubSpot, your local file system, your Postgres database, your browser history, your Jira tickets. Almost every tool you actually use has an MCP server waiting. Almost every service you work with is already ready to talk to AI. If you're finding this mind-blowing and starting to understand why this changes everything, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to Tech with Kaushik so you don't miss what's coming next, and drop a comment telling me which tool you want AI to access first. I read every single comment. Now let's look at real-world impact. Imagine you're a developer. A bug report arrives on GitHub. Normally, you'd read the issue, check out the code, debug it manually, write a fix, create a pull request. That's 15, 20 minutes of your time. With MCP, you ask Claude to fix it. Claude reads the GitHub issue through its MCP server, reads your entire repository, understands the code, writes the fix, creates the pull request. All without you manually switching between tools. All without copy-pasting code. Completely autonomous. Time to fix? 3 minutes. And it's production ready because Claude had full context. Let's say you're a business analyst and your VP wants the Q3 pipeline forecast. Normally, you'd log into Salesforce and export data, log into HubSpot and export more data, combine everything in a spreadsheet, run calculations, build a presentation. 3 hours minimum. With MCP, you ask Claude to generate the Q3 pipeline analysis. Claude connects to Salesforce through MCP, reads HubSpot, pulls Jira tickets, analyzes all the data, creates a dashboard with insights. Time to complete? 30 seconds. Everything is current. Everything is accurate. Here's one everyone can relate to. You have a meeting in 5 minutes. You need context. Who's this customer? What deals are pending? What emails did we exchange last month? What's their history with us? What should I remember before walking in? Without MCP, you frantically search your email, log into your CRM, try to remember scattered details. With MCP, you ask Claude for a briefing. Claude accesses your email through MCP, reads your CRM, reviews the contract, pulls meeting notes from previous calls. In 5 seconds, you have a complete briefing. You walk into that meeting confident, prepared, actually present instead of scrambling. Here's what tells you MCP is genuinely real and not just hype. Who's actually adopted it? Anthropic, the creators, obviously. OpenAI, they built ChatGPT, and when they saw MCP, they said this is the future. Google DeepMind controlling AI at Google scale. Microsoft with billions in AI investment. AWS, the cloud backbone. Cloudflare, Bloomberg, every major tech player. This isn't a niche protocol. This isn't a beta experiment. This is industry consensus, the standard that will define AI for the next decade. Think about how AI has evolved. First came chatbots. You ask a question, the AI responds. It's a conversation, one-way interaction. Then came copilots. The AI starts helping you work, writes code while you watch, suggests things, but you're still directing it. You're still the pilot. Now we're entering agents. The AI takes assignments and runs with them autonomously, has access to your tools, makes decisions, handles workflows. You describe the goal. The AI figures out how to achieve it. Chatbot, copilot, agent. Each level requires more autonomy, more trust, more capability. MCP is the fuel that makes this jump possible. Without MCP, agents stay trapped in the glass box. With MCP, agents become real. Now the question everyone asks, isn't this a massive security nightmare? Actually, no, it's the complete opposite. MCP builds security into the foundation from day one. You, the user, decide which servers the AI can access. You explicitly grant permissions. You review exactly what each tool can do. The AI can't sneak access to your email if you didn't grant it. The AI can't modify your database unless you gave it that specific tool. Every action is logged. Every request is visible. You stay in complete control. It's not a security vulnerability. It's the most secure way to give AI real capabilities. Let's look at the full transformation. Before MCP, complete chaos. Tangled custom connectors everywhere. Every AI needs custom code for every tool. The user is exhausted, copy-pasting data all day. Integration is messy, fragile, expensive. After MCP, order. One universal standard. Custom code becomes unnecessary. The user is empowered. AI actually works alongside them as a team member. Integration is clean, scalable, and free. Before, glass box, isolated genius, human as middleman. After, connected expertise, AI as a colleague. This is what changed. The future is already here. AI as a true team member, not a chatbot you talk to, not a service you subscribe to, but a colleague. Someone you work with. Someone who has real access to your data and tools. Someone you trust to handle real work. MCP is the protocol that makes that reality. It's the silent revolution that changed everything about AI. 5 things to take with you. 1. MCP is a universal plug for AI. Think USB-C for intelligence. 2. AI finally has real access to your data and tools. 3. The jump from copilot to agent is powered by MCP. 4. Security is built in from the start. You control what AI can reach. 5. 9,400 servers are already ready to go. Your tools are waiting. MCP isn't the future anymore. It's the present. If this video gave you a new way to think about AI, hit like and subscribe to Tech with Kaushik for more deep dives on AI concepts, certification prep, and the technologies reshaping how we work. Thanks for watching.